Pogi coming already.
I remember this guy because it's gonna happen. I'm going to follow him for a bit. Now he's going right. You can still see him. Let's go catch him. Welcome back everybody for the second video. Here we are on the full race commentary. So already started, 15 kilometers to go for the extended Krvavec climb. We have three versions, 11, 13 and 15. This one was the longest. You can see the first kilometer still packed. There was a lot of riders and I tried to make my way out because it was slightly faster. I put on the right, top right, you can see all the segments, so you have a bit more of an understanding of the gradient, the kilometers. I also marked all the kilometers, so you'll be able to see the kilometers left. And at the end, we're gonna do a mini analysis together about the riders that I'm talking about, my performance, and obviously the part where Pogacar passes at full speed. So let's go back to the race. So this part is really steep. When you see the kilometers, just bear in mind that the kilometer, the gradient that you see is the kilometers, is the gradient that we just done. So now we're going up, still the first kilometer, and here I'm gonna give you an anticipation, this is 13%. I'm finding my space left and right, so I learned how to say left and right even in Slovenian, just in case, because there was a lot of Slovenian riders. Plus I use obviously to give all the indication right and left, as you can hear on the video in English. Quite smooth for me, obviously passing most of the riders. As you saw on the first part, there was a rider with a white bike. Don't forget about him, and we're gonna talk about him in a minute. So here, you can see here on the right a Gusto bike, which is really popular in Slovenia. I spoke with quite a few riders, and that's one of the most popular bikes in Slovenia. I didn't hear about it before, but it look quite really good bikes. Here you have a camera on me here, and I'm passing quite fast on the left. I was very buzzing here, obviously, after the selfie with Tadej, and it was really a lucky moment, and I've been quite quick. So obviously, from Grad to Ravne, I pushed really hard, to be fair. You can see also the fact that I was passing a lot of riders gave me really a lot of strength. Plus, obviously, I love the 10+% gradient. You see, I did it all standing. For now, the movement you can see is quite smooth, even though obviously it's very steep. But don't look, obviously, I look probably not very tired, but the heartbeat here was already above 170. Because obviously the percentage hitting. And as you can see here on the right, is not done. So I give you the name, is Robert, because I asked as well to him, and you can see behind me, he hit again. So my idea was, after the first 2 kilometers, after going to Ravne, you have, if you can see the segment here on the right, then there is a big U-turn, an hairpin, and then there is a bit of a mild climb. You can see here now he's kind of pushing, and then I'm drafting because I know he is a strong rider, so I could go with him for a bit. Going back to the hairpin, after the hairpin he miles a bit the climb, and then there is a descent for a bit less than a kilometer, maybe 100 meters, and when I did the recon, it was headwind. So my idea was, Rodrigo, go fast. I wanted to push fast and be kind of alone or with not many riders around at the end of this very steep 2 kilometers at 10% average. And then I wanted to have someone with me for the descent and potentially draft or be in a mini group, because if I'm left alone in that downhill, I probably could lose quite a bit. And again, pushing quite a bit at the beginning without killing myself, because I wanted to be a bit higher when Pogi will pass by. So my idea was probably to last 5-6 kilometers based on my data, his data, considering I had an idea he would come up as zone 3. So like they could catch me at 5 to 6 kilometers to go. So these were the plan. Here you can see there's a few moments when I'm a bit stuck. Yeah, it's a bit difficult at some point, obviously, to go out. Here I'm following this young lady here. She's quite fast, I would say. So when I found, especially at the beginning, a rider that it was quite fast or yeah, quite comfortable in the group, I tend to follow them. Here, in the meantime, we have 14 kilometers to go, so 1 kilometer is done, and this kilometer was at 13%. Now I found a gap here. Pass a bit smoother. See, you can see that the group now is a bit more broken already after the first kilometer, and I imagine that because the first kilometer is really hard. So the idea again was to push slightly more in this section, in this first 2 kilometers. You can see now from this angle that there's quite a gap. The groups are broken already based on the speed. I look back, and you know why I'm looking back at this point, but I see no one, and I was a bit surprised here. So I said, okay, I might as well go by myself. But no, it was not long enough. It's not long enough, and our friend is back. I asked him if he was from the UK, because obviously the name is Robert, but then he told me he was from Austria. So Robert, if you're watching the video, you're one of the protagonists, so make sure you comment down below, or if you know him, just tag him. Because I had fun at the beginning, obviously, you know, when you have a fast rider with you, and then you love this bit of a challenge, even though the Pogi challenge is a challenge itself. So this, obviously, I love this part. Here another group that I'm passing. I don't want to say smoothly because I was struggling really hard. I don't want to make it easier here because the percentage is really steep. But yeah, I would say I was slightly lighter. I was 61 kilos here, and then I like to climb, so this is one of my favorite parts of the climb. And again, a bit stuck here. You can see, you know, many type of bikes. Most of the guys, most of the riders tend to acquire a light bike, but you can space from a couple of thousand or £1,000 bike from a bike of 20k. Let's see if we spot some during the climb, or let me know if you spot your favorite bike or your top bike during the climb, and drop it in the comment down below. Here we have this young lady again with here passing me. So she has really good legs. She has really good legs, and then she kept up quite a bit with me, which is really good. I mean, I was going up quite strong here. I'm talking about, I believe, at least, I don't want to say too much, but 4 watts per kilo plus, considering the steepness. Yeah, here, so we still on the first part, you know, I'm talking for quite a bit, and we've been climbing for quite a bit, and this is the first 2 kilometers, so imagine how hard and how steep it is. We're talking about 10+%, 2 kilometers. It's not easy. You know, I'm not sure how many mountains or hills you did. Here in the UK, I can't recall a climb, I mean, especially in the southeast, that is 2 kilometers with 10% plus average. Italy is the same. We have obviously many mountains, but it tend to be a bit more mild. If you don't consider the very hardest like Mortirolo, Sormano, or Zoncolan, but most of the others, you know, we're talking about 7-8%, etc. Close to the hairpin here that I was mentioning, you got Robert attacking. This is an attack. Look how he corner, and this is tense, and he attacks really hard here. And I said, no, I'm not gonna lose this wheel. So here I'm really pushing hard. Here I'm really pushing hard. I'm definitely in zone 5 because he is attacking, and I don't want to lose that wheel, because we have a tiny bit here for, I believe, 300-400 meters again on 8-9%, and then we have the descent. I'm not going to lose this. I'm not going to lose his wheel. So here I'm battling hard with myself, you know, even with my mind. 13 kilometers to go, and the kilometer we just passed an average of 9%. You can see he's at the front here. and I say to myself, you gotta stay there. You gotta stay there because this is a really good wheel, and then now you have the descent. You gotta definitely draft. If I let myself alone, it would be no point. In the only little descent of the entire climb. On the right, a Mexican rider, actually from País Vasco, but he said he lived in Mexico. He's one of the he became one of the mascot of the race because obviously with these flags, he represented one of the riders. They came from very far, from outside Europe, so obviously it was a big pride for the event. And this, we're just one of the guys that represent the people from all over Europe and the world that joined this incredible challenge. We see Robert here hammering down, and I'm here behind. You don't see my face, but here 5-6%. He was pushing quite hard, and I was behind. He clearly knew the climb, and I did the record, so I'm glad I did the record. And I knew that this bit with headwind, and he's a fast bit as well. So the group is fully broken. As you can see, the riders are already after 2 kilometers all scattered. So far so good in my plan. Everything is going to plan for my plan. My thought that I had before the record. And you can see here he's hammering down, turning the head, checking if I'm still there. I am still there. Hammering down. And I say, I'm the only one behind, and here you have like a super tack position. I mean, this is a great part of the video. I'm not super tack, I don't think it could help me with my 60 kilos, but I love to do super tack. But yeah, it's a very clean road, so you can do it. Here I was freewheeling a bit, trying to rest and trying to cool down my BPM actually here. And you can see the landscape, how fantastic it is. This bit here in the open is where the headwind is stronger. Obviously, I'm talking about headwind, I'm talking about European headwind. 10 kilometers an hour max. If you're going north, Germany, UK, Belgium, maybe it's a bit stronger, up to 20, but yeah, that's the European headwind, so a bit less than the Northern Europe. And here, we are about to approach another hairpin, and he attacks again. I mean, kudos to him. Look how he did this turn like if it was a descent. And he's attacking again. And at this point, I say, look, I have to battle. I try to draft Pogacar. I can't attack again. I can't respond another attack at that speed. So we leave our friend Robert for now, and then we're gonna check at the end how much was his time. But spoiler, he did really good. So I say I can't do another zone 5 again. I need to be between zone 3, a high zone 3, let's say, but I don't have to go on zone 4. If not, I just kill myself. I need to save a bit for when Pogi comes. So here we are, when I was talking, we passed already the 12 kilometers, if I'm not wrong. Yes, already 2 kilometers. Actually we're in the third now, so we're on the 3rd kilometer and we're about to approach the 4th. And here I'm climbing, going another steep bit. Here you can see I put on the Strava 4.36 kilometer at 200 meters elevation, and then 9%. So this is the next section, quite a few kilometers, almost 4.5. You can see a GCN guy turning on the left, on the right, sorry. And this is Alex Marangoni, ex-pro rider of Liquigas. I actually didn't realize it was him. We have an exchange of wording in English. Actually, I didn't realize it was him, so kudos to Maranga, which is his nickname. GCN presenter for Italy. I follow it. I was so hard on my climb that I didn't realize it was him. So let's go and check his time as well at the end. And the chat that we had is basically about talking Pogi coming, because he was already there. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that early. I start turning here, and I could hear all the sirens of the motorbikes, and Pogi is actually coming. So this is a bit unexpected, quite early, 4 kilometers in. Here I'm kind of between slow down a bit, going high zone 2, but not too much, because obviously as soon as it came, I had to already stand on the pedals and go up on my speed. The first motorbike passed by, a few riders here, so obviously I'm trying to work out what side. I'm trying to be a bit more in the center. Yeah, imagining he's gonna pass me on the left and try to keep up a bit. So yes, the section, I keep looking at the back. I don't see him yet, but I can hear the sirens here. Some people saying something encouragement to him. He's saying Gremo Gremo, which is like go 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 go. Here I'm speeding up, so it's something that you didn't see on the previous videos. Here I'm already speeding up, so here I'm already in zone 4, because obviously I need to keep up with the pace. The pace was really high, talking about 7-8% here, 30 kilometers an hour. It doesn't look from the video, but it actually is. So guy at the front here, he led him out, he moved, so I slow down a bit, and then I have this guy here that unfortunately he finishes right after Pogacar, quite tired. I had to hit my brakes, lose 70-80 meters, and this is my fight with a peak at 1000 watts, which is my sprint to come back to Tadej. And here I'm 400 watt plus. It just stands like it's nothing. It's the most smoothest rider, smoothest machine I've ever seen. And then here it looks so short the moment that I was behind him, but actually with all the build up, I've been a bit unlucky. And then we hit 11 kilometers to go. It's 7% now. Yeah, so 7%. It was just the last kilometer that we did. And yeah, so this was the moment when I tried obviously to draft Pogacar. It was very intense. It was a really good moment. Now obviously I was killed because I reached zone 5, 188 BPM if you saw the other video. If you didn't, I'm gonna leave all the short videos in the description. So this next 500 meters here, we have Novak passing us. Actually the motorbike is pushing him. He was not part of the race. Pro rider as well from Slovenia. And he went along Tadej Pogacar. There was also Andrei Hopma, ex-pro rider. So yeah, so here I was reflecting about my life and how I did embrace this challenge, because I was really killed at this point. You see, in this moment you can see quite a few riders passing me as well. But don't worry, I'm going to catch up later. Because at this moment I was trying to recover. It's like after one very zone 5, zone 6 interval, but then you know when that feeling that you have to recover. So a bit of sipping some drinks here, some minerals to go back. You can see the position of my hands here. It was for a bit on the handlebar. Some other riders passing me, a full gas. So in this, yeah, those 500 meters was probably among the hardest after the big push that I had to keep up with today. And then yeah, looking a bit around in the landscape, try to recover a bit before going back on track, and go back on my pace, go back on my high zone 3-4, I would say. Yeah, so let's talk about the numbers at the end and we see how I did. You can see now, obviously, I did it with a 46 actually, so I had only one ring at the front, is the 46, which is not the lightest for a 15 kilometers climb. A bit of fast forward here, did a few sections of fast forward, slightly better gradient, I would say here. But don't get fooled by that. I mean, slightly better gradient. You can see 7%, 10 kilometers to go, and the last kilometer was 7%. So when I take slightly better gradient, I'm talking about 6-7%. We're not going lower than that. We're about to approach Ambros here, and then it's like a little town in the middle. You can see the landscape, very Austrian, Swiss-like. So this is how Slovenia is. Very mountaineering, very green, so pristine, cows, horses, sheep. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, I absolutely love being in Slovenia. The roads are mint so far. I mean, there's no big potholes or major issues. Here we arrive on the first part of the town of Ambros. I'm going to slow down a bit more here. And in between trying to recover and trying to go back my speed, I wanted to cheer a bit the people because the support was fantastic. So I started to give some high five to the kids, to the families, and we're approaching 9 kilometers. See, I was saying the gradient was a bit more mild, but it's actually average 8% for the past kilometers. So it's actually milder than 10-12%, but it's still a climb. We're talking about a climb like the Alpe d'Huez. the gradient is a bit less on average, and is a bit shorter as well because it's 12 kilometers. Going back to the climb, I'm gonna fast forward a bit more again here, because obviously a bit less rider around, not the most eventful part. I'm recovering. I think here obviously I'm back on track with my speed, with my pace. Yeah, you can see I'm passing other riders, so I was back to my pace here. I don't want to say I felt again comfortable, but I was doing really well, so I'm actually trying to pace up again my high zone 3 and 4, I would say, FTP, I'm going to FTP. Without killing myself, but also not slow. And then, yeah, so we are in another point here. We are about to approach here. We are on 8 kilometers to go, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so we just passed the 6% bit. And I would say this was, for a while, is going to be one of the mildest, because now we are going back to red, really red. And now it's going to be a fight on the next part. We are going towards one of the hardest, actually the hardest few hundred meters of the climb. Here another hairpin, so you can see now on the Strava, that's the last hairpin that I'm doing, the one on top of this section. And here a good moment for me, because obviously my family support. Last week my mom, also my aunt and uncle came to Slovenia. I don't really see them often because I live in the UK. So it was really a good moment. Even my girlfriend and my girlfriend's family came in Slovenia for a few days to support my training, which I'm really glad of. And this was really a big boost for me, to have the opportunity to be obviously with people close to me that they supported me throughout. So big up to them. This was a very big push for me, again, because I don't have the opportunity always to stay with them. I see them 2 or 3 times a year, so this was really a great event and a great moment to be together. Another big group of people here cheering, which kept us going up, going fast. As some comments put, you guys were going up very fast. Some of the people commented, and once again, kudos to all the Slovenian people that support us, Slovenian supporters, because they've been fantastic, with flags, shouting, Gremo, Remo, to, which I don't know what does it mean, but it means probably go, go, go. Here's my mom on the right. I tried to have a quick chat with her. I actually asked her in my dialect to push, but she was too focused on taking the video. And that's it. So we have also, I'm gonna put also a picture of Andrew Feather here on the left that she took. At this moment, Andrew Feather, it was already 2-3 kilometers up. I didn't even see the start because he started very early, but I follow him on Strava, so I knew he was training really hard for this event. So I'm not surprised actually that he won. Maybe I'm a bit more surprised that he finished before Tadej Pogacar. And here obviously 7 kilometers to go, the rest of the family. Then I get the only refreshment points I think here, and then actually it was like a bit of 10%, not the best, because I'm wobbling a bit with the bike. And actually I'm kicking again at 7 to go. This was a very hard bit actually to have the refreshment. Yes, and then you can see how I'm kicking here this kilometer, and now you can see I changed I changed on top with the Strava 5 kilometer and 9%. But don't get fooled by that 9%, because this is the very hard bit. So we're about to approach the hardest, and we're talking about 100 meters at 22%, and then we're talking about 300 meters at 18%. I love the percentage, I love the 10 plus percentage, but those are really nasty percentage and very steep. You can see now from the speed, you can see that I'm working a lot standing, but it's like more I'm working with the knee a lot. I'm kind of like walking in a way, standing on the bike. Here a nice chat with Max. Max is from the Pogi team, young rider. And then he started following on TikTok when I was in Slovenia, so we had a nice chat. He commented, gave me a good luck for the day from the day before, so go and follow him as well. He's taking a video as well, so looking forward to see his video. And that's it. So it's been really helpful cheering. Obviously he's younger, he's faster, So at some point I had to say good luck, and then once again we're going to check Max result at the end. It was a nice chat, and it was good to see once again all the affection, even online, that I received while training there, while posting about Slovenia from the Slovenian fans, and not only fans but also the rider, and Max is one of them. So thank you, Max, obviously, for all the support on those days, on those weeks. And you can see him is really good legs. So he knows about the climb, he knows about the country, so he's gonna do a really good time. And that's it. So I keep going my climb, and this is the killer section. You can see how I wobble my bike, and here we are 18+%. It's so smooth. Max at the front, you can see, and here look at me and the other rider behind me. He's literally going left and right. I'm trying to go straight here, but it's really hard. I mean, we have so many kilometers in already, more than halfway, and you got this hit in your chest, in your heart, in your head at 20%. It's hard. It's hard, but you have to keep going, wobbling left and right. I always wobble, you know. I'm like Alberto Contador style, I would say. Always standing on my saddle, but this is not a wobble because of my style. This is not a dance. This is just like pushing hard on the pedals to keep the bike going, and to try to keep the bike at 10 kilometers an hour, because this bit was absolutely the hardest of the entire climb. You can see obviously Max, he went ahead. He didn't drop me completely. He's a bit ahead. He's also slightly I believe he got a few more kilos, quite a few more watts than me. Slightly milder here, and again, when I say slightly milder, probably we're talking still about 10+%. But at least I could sit for a bit, put my hands on the hoods, a bit more relaxed, and then increase once again the cadence, which went quite low on that section. I dramatically dropped. But yeah, you can see the gradient are still really aggressive. One rider here is checking his phone, probably is checking when this kilometer finishes, because it's among the hardest. If not the hardest, I believe that is the first or second hardest kilometer of the climb. We are close to 1,000 meters here, so it's 3,000 feet already. So slightly colder. We start down, it was like 16-17 degrees, and we arrive on top of the climb that you will see later with 3 degrees. So like any other Alp or maybe high mountain, if you think about a Grand Tour. The vegetation is already changed. You can see it's not much grass anymore. It's a lot of trees that you usually found at this altitude. And yeah, so the riders are really scattered here. So the one that started before a different pace I already passed, and then pretty much here the bunch that you will see now that I'm going to catch up, they are strong riders. So yeah, we are just the closest we go to the finish, and the hardest you become, and then the strongest riders I will pass. It's going to be a bit more difficult as well to pass. This is a very nice open section that you can see all down. A bit of a shame that you can't see completely, but you can see on the right the full valley of Slovenia. 6 kilometers to go, and the one we did average was 9%. This bit not finished yet, so you can see still quite a important gradient here. The road still good, but a bit broken maybe for the vegetation, etc. And obviously it's not one of the main roads. The higher we go, the steeper it gets, the different vegetation, the riders really strong. But I kept my pace, felt, I would say, well again, but here obviously 6 kilometers to go, you start become mentally you mentally close. So you know, at the beginning you have the challenge, and then when you go up mentally, the closest you get, the more the mind would play in. So less for the legs and more for the mind. So you feel that you are getting close to your goal. And on my Garmin I had only I had only the PB that I did 2 days before on the 11 kilometers, sorry, climb, and I was quite ahead because obviously I went up on zone 2, etc. So seeing that I was really ahead gave me again one extra boost. I didn't even check numbers, speed. I really want to see I'm doing better than that time. I'm doing really better.
Not bad. I think
The initial goal was to do sub 1 hour. Then obviously halfway I was not sure, but obviously back on my mind I said, you have to do sub 1 hour. I expected to be probably on the top 10%, but I didn't know really much how many riders there were. So, I always love to be competitive. And then, for me, when I race, etc., the top 10 is always a goal, and it is something that I like to train, etc., to be on the top 10%, whatever is a race, whatever is a big event, etc. I always fight, and I always train to be one of the guys battling for the top. So obviously being in the top 10 is really where I aim to be and where I love to be. And it's not always easy, but obviously I hope this is also an inspiration for you if you're watching the video or next year to join, because it's just a crazy event. Smoother road once again, high trees, not many leaves around, and then start getting like the cold feeling. I was very warm obviously, but you can see from the landscape it's slightly different. Well above 1000 here. Another rider, very young from the Pogi team that I'm passing here. So I was surprised I was passing quite really good riders as well. So yeah, when those moments when you pass big bags, big riders, young riders, you feel really well. And I thought here that there is a section, obviously. Then sometimes as well happens that you got very strong riders with quite a hard gear actually passing you. And this is one of them. I couldn't quite catch the number, if not I would have checked the time, but the bike looked quite smooth and light. So yeah, kudos to the rider. Sorry, I don't know the name that passed me here. They was in a really great shape. Slightly, once again, I say slightly flatter, is not flat at all. We're talking about 6-7%. And then I'm gonna do a bit of a fast forward here. In the section that is going to bring us to Planina Jezerka, hopefully I say the name right, which in Planina Jezerka we have 2 kilometers, they are around 4%, so very, very manageable, and where you can push the cadence a bit up. So yeah, here we are with a fast forward. She's still on the pedal as I'm still passing a few riders, very encouraging I would say. And then we are here on the last 4 kilometers basically, still trying to fight. And at this moment my goal was to reach the flat bit, and like I explained before on the descent, I wanted to be with someone. I wanted to be with a little group to share maybe the work, also draft potentially, because on top here, so we are quite high in altitude, and it's quite flat, so you can push speed quite a bit, maybe above 30 kilometers an hour as well in some sections. So it's really important that you're not alone, and this was my aim. I know at this point, then we are on, if you see the Strava segment on top right, we just passed the last turn, or we are about to approach it. Let's see now in a second. I think we are about to approach the last turn. And here we are discussing with another rider, I remember. So he thought the climb was finished in Planina Jezerka, like I thought at the beginning, but unfortunately it's not that. So that's me explaining that there is 2 kilometers with a mild average, and then we have the last bit of climb. So a bit of a chit chat here. I tried to explain because I think it's the same section that I have on the Strava. So I try to give some advice, some information, and obviously I love the bike, love all these big bits. And at this moment, it feels like he's actually also dropping me. So I said, good luck.
Hi, good luck.
I thought maybe I see him again at the final point or at the finish. But actually here, there's gonna be a bit of a plot twist. So let's keep going, let's keep watching, and we see what's going to happen. Another rider here, quite I would say slightly faster than me. And again, here you see a few riders passing me. But remember their colors, remember their kit, remember their bike. Because now the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. So I'm not really giving up here. I'm not giving up. Fast forward, slightly faster than me, and I'm kind of, I could stay there, but I didn't want to. So here we are about to approach the last bit of this section. Another rider passing me, and again, remember his bike, remember those colors, because now we arrive in a section and there's a slightly turn on the right, and you can see on the Strava point that we are at the end on this segment. And I know here there is a grind for the water on the floor, which is actually here we go, and then I know here the flat bit starts. So now we're going to change the Strava segment, quite open up, European kind of wind, which doesn't really affect me very much because I'm used to wind, rain, mist of the UK. First rider gone. I actually say something to him to draft if he wants, and here I start hammer down, gear down, a bit more flat, 2 kilometers at 2.3% average, and here I start hammering down and see I give it all. I thought after these 2 kilometers we had a couple of 100 meters to finish. Bad mistake actually, because it's not finished after that. Another 2 riders pass, I tell them to draft, but I don't think they'll follow me, and here I'm hammering down. This is full gas. I'm here, see, it's down, I'm kicking as well. You can see from the speed of the video as well, I'm really hammering. Aero mode, the speed with other riders is quite different, so here I felt so well. I felt well, and obviously a bit chilly as well, but I wanted that, because when you're very warm you want that bit of chill, and you know, shorts, t-shirt, while other people a bit more dressed up. I wanted to feel really free, flat and hammer down. Remember the riders that passed me before, 1 kilometer before? Yeah, I could see, I'm not sure you can see from the distance, they are quite distant, but I could see slightly them on a few turns, and I said I'm gonna get them. So this is my fight to go and get the group. 2 kilometers, I need to get them, I need to hammer down until I get them, draft a bit, and then go again. So here we go, aero mode. Remember all those trainings, all those years I've been in the UK, with the same vegetation, a bit dry, a bit wet, you know, whatever you wanna call it, damp on the floor, misty, cold, etc. And then we hammer down. That's it. There's nothing else to do here. Bit of a relax here on the turn. I could see them still in distance, and once again kick, and we go. We're gonna get them. There's no chance that it's not happening. So here we go, and it's down once again kick, with this guy obviously shouting really hard with the flag, let's go, all those pushes that I needed. Aero mode once again, with the track. Obviously I build it up light, I build it up for the hill climbs, but obviously still need to be a rideable bike, so I didn't get crazy with that. Let's see what I'm gonna do later. So again, it's one of the videos I will post, so stay tuned with that. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe the channel. You know, I didn't say before, but yeah, after 38 minutes I think I would deserve it. So like, comment, subscribe the channel, activate the bell. Another bit of good supporters here, and then we keep going. Look at the landscape here, look at where we are, in the mist, in the fog, in the clouds. It's actually clouds, I don't think it's mist or fog, it's actually the clouds. We are 14,000, so what is it like in feet? Let me do a quick conversion. It's like 4,000 feet or a bit more, and I finally got the group. I finally got a mini part of the group. I think most of the guys here, they were German, them speaking, or Austrian. And then here you can see one rider see me, and then bam, 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 hammer, 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 and then we go push, push, push. Here we are, 2 kilometers to go, 4%. When I saw that sign at 2 kilometers, I said, now nothing is going to stop me. I'm gonna do that sub 1 hour. Here a bit, I didn't really want to pass here. They're taking pictures, they're quite fast still. And I don't know why I didn't pass, so obviously I wanted to rest a bit, because the last kilometer and a half I passed by myself alone in the wind. So slightly bit of a rest here, and then I can't hear it now, but at some point I say, let's go guys, 1 kilometer to go, let's push. And you hear it on the video. And then seeing the last 2 kilometers for me was really a big boost of energy. And once again, we're talking about mentally, that is something that pushes you a lot, seeing all the supporters and all the signs. And here, we're a mini group, so I'm drafting a bit. This is a bit of a headwind section, because the wind comes from kind of northwest, so here we are facing west. And then even with my cheer obviously at the front, they start pushing quite hard, so this was perfect for me. So we kept up the pace, and at some point, even though the road was narrow, I say, let me go. So now we go. I mistakenly thought that at the end of this one there was the finish, which actually I was wrong. But there was a bit of a flat, finishing in a flat. You can see the rider with the pink bike there. I'm passing him again, so all the rider that passed me before, now I'm passing back again. I thought actually the final was here. Big mistake, actually. This is another kilometers to go, and the hardest kilometers. Tiny bit of a mistake on my side. This is where I arrive on my record, and I didn't realize there was 1 more kilometer. But yeah, no problem. 1 kilometer to go that we are about to approach now. Still a fast bit this one. Look, we are in the clouds. I mean, the landscape, the area is crazy. It's crazy to complete a climb in these clouds. The last bit of descent, 1 kilometer to go. We just passed. The last kilometer was an average of 2%. Technical bit here, a narrow road and a right turn before approaching the last final really hard kick. 12% average, last kilometers, another killer. This climb is infinite, and here you can see the difference of speed, the hardness after a few kilometers of quite mild, 2, 3, 4%. Again, we're back on the wobbly mode here, with the first few kicks of 14, 15 and plus %. But I'm going to chat a bit less. I'm going to leave the last 500 meters so you can hear the supporters. So I'm about to finish the commentary here. So yeah, here again, once again, I was with, it's all mental. You can see the mist, the foggy clouds, and now the front wheel is already a bit wet. This road was wet as well, but it was not skidding, which that was something that I experienced in the past few days of training. The people start getting really intense. The support here was really intense, the noise. So I'm gonna leave a clean last 500 meters for you to enjoy what I felt, what my heart felt in the last kilometer. And you don't look at anything, you just push. You feel your goal, your challenge is about to finish. This is the result of months of obviously training, because I train cycling. It's the result of the last 10 days. You can see everything that you did, all the work that you've done on those days, on those weeks, completed is the complexion of a goal. When you reach that goal, it's an immense sense of pride, and then you feel invincible in a way. So this was my last kilometer. I couldn't see the road, I didn't think about the gradient, I didn't think about anything no more. 500 meters to go, we're about to complete the Pogi challenge, and I leave you with the real, authentic noise of Slovenia. Enjoy, and I see you again after the finish line.
Bravo, še malo. Hai, Zate, ti devo mettere, dai mo! Hop. Bravo. Bravo, ajmo, dega!
What an absolute magic event this has been. Here I'm resting, I'm completely dead with the final push at the very end, but so glad that I did it, so proud of it. But let's talk about numbers while I'm taking the medal. Andrew Feather finishes in 44 and 15 with an average of 5.6 watt per kilo based on my calculation with the help of ChatGPT, and 352 watts. Tadej Pogacar finishes with an average of 625 roughly watt per kilo, and then 412 watts. In terms of my timing, obviously we were talking quite a bit less, but I would say really strong, quite proud of myself and the performance with 251 watts at 4.11 watt per kilo, which is, I believe, quite good. Kudos also to the other riders that I met along the road with 57 minutes and 38 Robert, and also Max, he did really good at 58 and 36. So they did a bit better than me, but I was not very far. It's all for this time. Stay tuned on the channel with new videos. Ciao!